312 BHDS Coachmen Freedom Express Ultralite Triple Slide. Highly appointed bunkhouse camper here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. Freedom Express represents both Coachmen's top level trailer as well as their top level lightweight. And as we go through this, you'll see a lot of upscale features that are not necessarily unique to the RV industry. You'll see things on this trailer you've seen in other places, but not usually on an ultralight. That's where this one's unique. They don't scale down amenities to save weight. They use better processes and better materials to save the weight without giving you a lesser equipped camper. These are also extremely well built for end users in mind. Like you see this little picnic table right here. That's something you're going to use every single day. And it's just a resin top table. It's plastic. You leave it outside in the rain, who cares? It's fine. It's not going to deteriorate. Not to mention, when you look down here, you notice you don't see particle board, OSB. You see wood, it's going to be plywood, but most of the time you're going to see a welded aluminum superstructure. Also niceties here, like this big LED light strip that's illuminating our basement area here, especially when you're pulling in at mornings or in evenings. It makes a big darn difference. This is not just a Freedom Express. If you look at the stickers, you might see where it says Liberty Edition. That is an upgrade bundle. The best way to think of this, the Liberty Express is like a Chevy LS. Then you upgrade to the Liberty Edition LT. Now we've gone even further and added the Premier package, which is like the LX. So this is the most highly equipped version of this you can essentially get. There's always a couple different options and upgrades you can add. So one of the reasons I'm talking about all this is because the next one that you see in our dealership may be equipped slightly differently. Typically not, usually just color scheme differences, but it could happen. Liberty Edition gives us the nicer slam latch baggage doors here, so these are a true one-hand operated latch. Notice too that they do seal the piano hinge on this door so water doesn't get in there and freeze and spring the latch and cause it to be problematic. The nose cap, you're probably noticing, is white, and if it doesn't look white on your screen, then you have a problem with your computer. They use a stark white nose on here because it's cooler in the bedroom. They use one of those little laser pointer heat sensors basically, and they found that by doing this white nose, depending on where you live in the country, it's 10 to 20 degrees cooler in the bedroom. That's a lot. It makes a difference. Power awnings, power tongue jacks, super common stuff in travel trailers today. So what you need to start looking at is the quality of the mechanism. They just use better grade motors and better grade stuff on these basically. It's one of the things that could indicate this is $1 more than another lightweight out there, because I can find you a cheaper lightweight. I have them here, but they don't have this level of equipment. They tongue mount the spare tire to leave the rear bumper wide open for bike racks. A lot of ultralight brands discourage you. They say if you put a bike rack on here and it damages anything with your framework, it'll void that part of your warranty. Freedom Express goes, I don't care, throw a bike rack back there, you're taking your family camping. So they embrace the things that other guys shy away from. By the way, this triple slide trailer with all deep slides, by the way, only comes in at 7,800 pounds. That is very light compared to a conventionally built camper with the same floor plan. It is approximately 1,100 to 1,200 pounds lighter than a standard constructed trailer. So they have done some remarkable things to get the weight down there. But the cool thing is they didn't make it smaller, they just made it lighter. Like I said, these are true deep slides. The ceiling is 81 inches tall inside instead of 78. They left, the only thing they left out is the weight. They have all the space, they have all the features. Standard stuff, but important things to note. A little outside shower. If the kids go down in the lake, you're going to want to spray that lake smell off them. And a black tank flush. That is something I like to help keep the tanks flushed out, empty. It's really nice when you're all done camping. The slide out walls here, you see that really sandpapery texture on there. It's pulling that slide as taut as it can so that you are guaranteed the best possible seal on here. And it's little stuff like that. It's stuff like the extended downspouts that cut down on your black streaks. It's those day-to-day things they do on a Freedom Express for the end user. They just make this thing easy to deal with. So we have two opposing full 36-inch deep slides here in the bunkhouse. This is a 14-foot wide bunkhouse. Basically, the rear section of the camper is as big as the middle living room section of the camper. They're just shaped differently. So that's what's really cool about this one. You'll see it inside. You can use it like a bunkhouse, sure, but it could be an extended living room. It could be a second, like a man cave or a den. We know some folks that like Army brats who they travel around and they never know where they're going to call home next month. this is their mobile classroom for their kids. There's some really cool things you can do with it. Wide stance stability axles help keep the trailer from wiggling so much behind the vehicle because it's harder for those wheels to want to swerve, essentially. And who doesn't like awesome looking aluminum rally wheels? They look cool. These are nitro filled, by the way, and they are radials. They don't ride on bias plies like a lot of lightweights. You know, easy power awning, push button operation with LED light strip down there so that you can get some good nighttime glow down here. Because this white awning on the bottom might look kind of bland, but it's by design. This light strip hits that, reflects down, and this just glows. So you don't, I'll just say, if you're the type that goes out and drinks a couple barley pops at the end of the night, those white lights can feel kind of bitey. Now it's just a nice white soft glow. Azdel, let's talk Azdel real quick. Azdel is stuff just behind the fiberglass, and if you look, you see that white board right there, that vertical board. That's what's right under the skin. Azdel is not wood, it is a composite resin. It's melted down pop bottles primarily, so it's very green. That's kind of why this is here. It can't rot, mold, mildew. It's lighter, it has better resistance for insulation than a standard Luan wall backer. So this ultralight wall has the same insulation as a 2-inch non-ultralight wall. Again, they didn't make you give up anything in a Freedom Express. You just get more stuff. And I always forget to talk about this, and I kick myself for it. They even have a light under the steps here so that it'll reflect off the steps, and at night when you're stumbling inside in the dark, you can see where you're going. It is just all that little attention to detail stuff that I like. Also, before I get too far along, it's easier to see before I kick the lights on. There's these really cool accent lights around the fireplace and the ceiling light there. And they're not real bright. They're just there for ambiance. But look at that. Dead alive. It just comes alive when the lights hit this thing. You know, this is, by the way, this is the Java decor, or as I call it, dino skin. Because I don't know. That's what I would imagine dinosaur skin looked like. When you watch Jurassic Park, isn't that what you think the raptor skin's gonna look like? I think it looks awesome. But I'm a nerd, and I was a little boy who grew up loving dinosaurs, and Brontosaurus was my favorite, in case you're asking, which you weren't. So, let's, by the way, again, interior decors can vary from model to model. This is generic stock footage. Not every single 312 we have will look just like this one. Okay. Let's just start from the top down, just start running through. On a Liberty Edition Freedom Express, I can't think of one time we have not upgraded to a 15,000 BTU air instead of a 13.5. This is 50% more powerful air conditioner. Liberty Edition upgrades all of our light fixtures, these fancy fifth wheel puck lights, and notice how they're yellowed so that they look natural. They're not a stark white light that makes you feel like you're in a doctor's office, you know? This is a Williamsburg tri-fold memory foam hide-a-bed sofa. Same sleeper sofa they use in $100,000 fifth wheels. And actually Freedom Express used it first. Freedom Express didn't copy a fifth wheel. They copied Freedom Express because this is a fantastic sofa. They got away from airbeds before just about anybody because they were just a warranty nightmare because most brands were not buying good quality airbeds. The only airbed I think is okay is the actual Aerobed brand. That's tough to say, but that's not in here, so never mind. Plywood drawer construction all over, and look at that big honking dinette drawer, and it's right next to the kitchen, so it's easy place for like bigger stuff that you might need to get to now and then. Now for heavy stuff, they don't put this in a drawer. They just leave you a nice little swing open panel here so you can put big heavy stuff down here that's not gonna screw up a drawer mechanism. Because let's face it, if you guys pack like my mother packs, you're gonna overload stuff. Just be honest with yourselves. Even the rear section of the dinette here is easy access storage. You know, all that stuff just adds up to make life just better, easier for you. The slide outs here, they're floor flush, so they don't have that big kick. Keep in mind, even a floor flush technically has a little incline to it, but it doesn't have like the big toe kick that's going to cause you to trip and fall. Liberty Edition adds a nice skylight above the dinette here to get some more ambient light, natural light, and if you don't like it, don't worry about it, you can shut it. All of the countertops, standard countertops, are sealed edge so that water cannot slip into a T-molding and cause delamination and sponging. All of your woodwork is superior in here. They do a better job on their cabinetry of a lot of lightweight brands. There's some other good lightweights out there, don't get me wrong, but they do a very good job in these. For instance, see how this cabinet is pocket screwed. There's a screw going down into this piece of wood from here. It's not stapled and glued. Walk into a cheap camper and try to twist this. This is called a style. Twist that. And in a cheap camper, you can. And if you can twist it, imagine that all they're doing is cutting corners. They're trying to make it look pretty without building it properly. Liberty Edition upgrades to solid surface countertops. Premier package also adds the sink covers here on top of our American stone cast sink. It is American sourced. It is not plastic, so if you pour hot boiling water into it, it doesn't melt. And hey, Liberty Edition adds the improved kitchen hardware as well. This is the coolest drawer in any camper ever. This is where all of your silverware can go and get it out of the way. And it takes up no vertical space, basically. Most of the time people see this, they expect that tilt-out sponge drawer. Then they pull this open and they're like, holy crap. Now what's cool is if you're barbecuing, take it outside with you. You can do that. It's not a big deal. If it gets dirty, pull it out, clean it. Who cares? Extra storage below here. Every ounce of storage space they could, they got opened up in this trailer. They have extra big, extra deep countertops. The easiest way to see that is look behind the stove. They have an extra 12 inches back here. Stoves are all the same size. So you can see how much extra space is back there by judging back there. A little trick. Premier package upgrade to an 8 cubic foot refrigerator freezer instead of the 6. So this is 33% bigger. You can sleep like 10 people in here. You know, you're going to want that extra space. Big pantry too, because again, you got to feed everybody. That's the whole point of all this over here, is you got to be able to feed everybody. So here we have a nice porcelain foot flush stool, not a hand flush, and it's not plastic. You can actually clean this. A plastic stool you can't really clean because it's porous, so bacteria can grow in the little pools and you know, make it smell and stain it. Good storage space over here for all your toilet paper and tank tablets. Notice again, all of your standard countertops are sealed so that when you're splashing water around your sink, you're not damaging your countertop. This Freedom Expresses, a lot of people walk in, they go, this feels bigger. Because it is. This is 81 inches tall, not 78 inches tall inside. I mentioned that outside. Now, as opposed to, some of these campers have this big rounded roof inside, and that's cool. Don't get me wrong. It's better than nothing. But it still has the same sidewall height. By going taller on the sidewalls, you can get a taller slide out, taller cabinets, more headroom in the shower. A lot of positive benefits from that. And just the best example I can give you is if this had a barreled interior. I almost fell down. That would have made an awesome video. A barreled interior ceiling will give me headroom on this side of the shower. But if I go over here, a tall guy like me, I wouldn't have headroom in the shower. But in this Coachmen, I have headroom everywhere. It's just not a problem. Let's see here. Let's slip back in the bunkhouse. By the way, privacy door. We can close the bunkhouse just like the bedroom, not a curtain. So this is what I call Mom and Dad's sanity room. Mom and Dad need some rest and relaxation too. So back here in the bunkhouse area, we've got a lot to talk about. I'm going to kind of work my way around. Down here, we have this convertible cube futon. It can be a sofa, a lounge. It can be just about anything you want. Above that, we have a single bunk that's mounted on a strutted lift here. So during the day, that's all you got to do to pick it up and get it out of the way. Notice two big windows in these bunkhouses for cross breeze, even back here. And those windows open in a jowlery fashion, so you can use them in the rain. The problem with a lot of bunkhouses is there is nowhere to store all the kids' stuff. That is not a problem in the 312 Freedom Express. They did a bang-up job putting lots of storage in here so the kids can keep all their crap away from the living room. Charging station. Kids probably got a bunch of phones. Now, on a rainy day, frankly, you're going to want them to use those phones and not drive you nuts. Hopefully, though, you got a couple board games and you can still build some family memories instead of sitting in your camper playing electronics. But in the event that that's not the case, we do have an entertainment center back here for the kids to keep busy. And if they spill their Kool-Aid, we have steel edge countertops even back here. The dinette can also fold down into a sleeper, and there is more storage under it. With yet another fold-up down overhead bunk back here. Even in the bunkhouse, we have full LED lights. They pretty much got this bunkhouse figured out. I mean, this could be anything you want. And I love the big window back here, letting in all that light. I didn't even turn the lights on back here. Didn't need to. So, swinging forward, I do like to point out all the windows for cross breeze here. There's actually enough light that my camera, there we go, was having trouble keeping up. Talked about the height a bit, talked about that. Fireplace. Electric space heating fireplace. This is a member of the Premier package, so not standard stuff. We've looked at the little indirect light fixture, which is currently off. I can play with that again just because it's fun. Man, that looks cool, too. Basically, instead of burning up all your propane that you already paid for, this is just a cool electric space heater. You don't have to... You already bought the electricity. Don't burn up your propane you got to replace. The all-in-one AM/FM DVD Bluetooth entertainment center here. It can stream music. Obviously, it'll play DVDs on your TV, but it can stream music wirelessly from any Bluetooth-enabled device like 30 yards away. They have an awesome range. You can be campsites 2-3 places away and be fine. So if the kids have their phones in that charging station all the way back there, this thing can still reach it. It's pretty cool. So we've seen the, again, we have privacy doors, not curtains, and we have a spinning entertainment center. So this 32-inch flat screen HD TV here can spin around to face the bedroom at night, the living room during the day, and cut down the cost of adding yet another electronic appliance. Bedroom. Mom and Dad get some fun stuff too. It's not all about the kids in here. This is a full 80-inch queen bed. So this floor plan is designed with a true queen in mind, not a camper queen that's 74 inches. If Mom and Dad have CPAPs or phones to charge or iPads or whatever, you got a place to charge them over here because there are outlets next to these stands. Now these lights are cool. This is a 2-element blue-white LED light here. So at night, when you get to your, if you want to read a book, you can flip this on, and it's not super bright, but it'll make a white surface glow and make it very easy to read without disturbing your partner. Now for spotlights, if you hold this, it kicks over to white, and you get plenty of light in here. Tap it again, shuts right off. They use every ounce of space in here they can. They don't leave this dead. They don't leave just a shelf. They actually still put cabinets in here. Mom and Dad have an extra vent up here for cross breeze. There's heat and air conditioning in every area. Let's see. Oh, your lights here. Let's say you left your outside light on, or your water pump or something's left on. You can see that at a glance because this is all backlit. It's all those extra little things that add up in these. And that's what I love about these. These are designed with the end user in mind. So give us a call, 800-256-5196, Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. Take care, stay safe, happy camping.